Yes, and I can give you a little interesting story on this one. So yes, yeah, you can control your prices. Everybody can do $0 or you can do $1,000,000. There's some rules around how often you can do sales, and that is really because there's some government rules around that, and I think they just chose the most prevalent. Maybe it's the UK that has the rules, or the EU. Uh, and so, because you can't do that fake, like, oh, we're on 50% off, but we've never been the full price kind of thing, right? And so developers can totally change just what they want, but they can also do it for individual countries. And so we'll see, where Valve will automatically kind of do that for you because they kind of try to normalize what prices are in those countries and have an understanding of what those dollars are worth. If you remember back in the day, Valve used to kind of brag about like Russia and how big Russia was. It was like 8% of all sales, and now it's nothing because their dollar is so depressed. I don't think you can sell in Russia anymore, but like before the war, their dollar was so depressed that it had so little value that they were no longer a big part of it. Same happened with Brazil, right? But now the interesting thing, if you're a developer, is you can set those run rates, and I would just leave them, right? But occasionally you can't, because occasionally you make, let's say, a deal in a territory because you're going to have some help distributing the game there. I have looked at sales and then a sale where a company goes on sale or a game goes on sale, and I'm like, oh, this you have your price wrong in this country, and they're like, oh yeah, we have a deal there. Our run rate has to be different, and that's where you learn about price sensitivity. So now, in this case, the company had a deal with a Russian company to distribute the game. So instead of being $20, essentially what they were everywhere else, they were $25, and that company like got that money. Ignore like all of that part of it, but it was interesting because the minute it went on sale and it got under a threshold, you could see the sales from that company. Like normally when you go on sale, right, all of it means is you get more sales from all the countries, and they all go the same way. So if like the US is your number one, Canada number two, and Germany number three, they're just going to go up, right? It's not all of a sudden Germany's number one because you went on sale, unless you don't have your local price set right. And then you will see some random country jump way up. And in this case, it was Russia. And it was just like, why is Russia number one? And it's never been, right? And in that case, it was exactly that. That you could, the data showed, that's why data is always interesting. People say you should be data focused, is the data literally showed the price, this price anomaly that they made the deal, right? Without having any foreknowledge of that deal, you could see that that was happening. And so as a developer, you want to look at that, you want to have that understanding, because it also is teaching you, people will buy your game, but there's a threshold that they won't go over to buy your game, right? So now for the Anacrusis, we did not have a strong launch at Reveal for early access. We've struggled to gain attention. People probably look at us and go, well, $20, is it too much or too little? Like, right, because if you go too little, it's a 99-cent game. Well, what value is it in this game? I have no idea. But if it's a $20 game, maybe if I look at some other $20 game, it's not comparable. And so what is the price sensitivity that would just get people to buy it, right? And it may not be the same anymore, right? So it used to be under 9, under 19, under 29, but it may be different, right? And it's all, again, if all your friends are playing the game, you'll spend $30 for the game. If nobody else is playing the game, you'll spend 10 for the game, right? And so all of this is the complexity of pricing. And sometimes I wish someone would just force me to choose a price and not have to think about it, because it's exhausting, especially now that I have more limited data to look at and I can't understand this except for my own. And if you get into too small of numbers is where you get into that you can't actually see trends or have understanding, because it could just be an anomaly of like someone got drunk and bought their hundreds classmates the game, right, in that country or whatever. And so that's why often when I talk about small data sizes, they're inaccurate. But there you go. So hope that answers the question.